Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. And for this week's video, I'm bringing you a super cute and simple Easter card. Now, I say simple, but it does require a few supplies. So, we are going to start with a top folding A2 size card base and a standard mat, so 4 by 5 1/4. Now I have gone ahead and I embossed it, and I used the eyelet lace this time. The first sample was using the Coastal Weave embossing folder, which is adorable. But I thought for this one maybe we would do the eyelet lace. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to do it that way, which poses its challenge as there is a lot more texture on this side, so you want to be fairly generous with your adhesive. I wouldn't suggest snail for this one. And I'm just going to put a couple of blocks on that off to the side so it can sit and think about what it's done. So we are going to use the Full of Happiness stamp set, and I know this chick looks super creepy without its eyes and beak, but on paper it is just adorable. So we're going to stamp one of those, which I already have mounted on a block, using Daffodil Delight. And then on that same piece of paper we're going to do our little eggshell here. And this is actually the first time I've inked that stamp up. Every time I've done the egg, I've done just the die cut. And if you're looking to find where this egg die cut is, it is in the Dino Days dies. Try saying that one time fast, never mind 3. But it is part of the Dino Roar suite of products. And admittedly, I did not have it until I knew that I had to have this stamp set. Once I decided on this stamp set, I'm like, oh, I need those dies. Okay, so that was Daffodil Delight. And then for this little chick's beak and feet, we are going to use Mango Melody and then Basic Gray for the eyes. You could use black. Every time I've done it, I've just used Basic Gray. Now it can be tricky to see, but there is a little line on here that shows where the beak would be opening. So you want that on the bottom. And I would love to say that you could stamp the beak and the eyes first and then stamp your chick over top, but it would be pretty hard. Okay, now for the feet, I know this is going to look funny, but we're going to stamp them up there because we're going to be cutting them out. There is some fussy cutting involved here. You could use a scan and cut if you have one. I tend to be kind of lazy getting mine out and using it. I mean, it's out all the time, but I don't use it nearly as much as I should, given the investment. This one can be hard to tell. And if you end up with a little bit of white space, just come in with a Stampin' Right marker and fill in the gap. No one will be the wiser. Okay, now for that eggshell, I've got that mounted on a block as well, and we're just going to use Stampin' Right markers for that. So I use So Saffron, Grapefruit Grove, Blushing Bride, Highland Heather, and Pool Party. Nope, Coastal Cabana. You could put a green in there. The mint macaron would work really well as well. But there are only 5 colors that we're using there, so I did it in the reverse order, and I didn't like the So Saffron at the bottom. That's why I'm doing it at the top. And this is what I recommend to start with. So when the new in colors come in, because the 2018-2020 ones are going out, so reminder, if there's anything you are needing, cardstock, re-inkers, markers, anything, stock up on them now. But when the new ones start coming in, consider starting off with the Stampin' Right markers, because you can do marker to stamp, you can flick them onto your cardstock, you can do tons. So if you don't want to invest in the stamp pads right away, consider just getting the markers. Give it a hot breath just to make sure you reactivate all that ink. You don't want it dried on your stamp. And there you go. Now it leaves a weird texture, but that is part of the stamp. So we can die cut that, and you could very easily fussy cut this. I don't want to. I have the dies, so I'm going to use it. I wish that there were dies for this, but there is not. So again, that is part of the Dino Days, and these are the Dino dies. Lots of cute patterns in there. I really got it for the egg, although this stamp set is so, so cute. Okay, so we'll quickly cut these out. And I just leave a tiny little white border, the same way that we would get if we were die cutting these. You can close crop them if you want. But I figure if I'm gonna have that little bit of white on the egg from the die cut, I might as well have that same amount around the chick and the feet. In all this self-isolation and quarantining and everything, the social distancing, isn't it hard to believe that Easter is just less than a week away? We're not going to be able to have those big family dinners that we would normally have, so this would just be a cute little card to send to your family that you would usually be sitting down and dining with. So I think once this is all over, we're going to have like a 2020 2.0 party for all of the holidays and birthdays and everything that we've missed. Because it's just not the same. I can tell you, because I just had a birthday, and really not the same. Okay, so here we go. We can start to adhere everything. The only part that I haven't done, and we have enough room, I think, on this piece of cardstock, is to stamp this sentiment, and that is from the Welcome Easter, although there is, there's Easter on here. May your Easter be full of happiness, although that seems like an inside of the card sentiment. Just going to use up some of the scraps that I have for my dimensionals. I don't know about you, but those little pieces that are left over drive me crazy. They come in handy, but I don't like having them sitting with my other dimensionals because they tend to stick. Okay, so we can pop that in there, on there, and then we're just gonna have our chick. Now because I use the full pieces of the dimensionals, I'm going to cut part of this off because I don't want to have it too tall. That's actually even a little too tall. Don't look. I'm massacring this poor little chick. But I did find earlier when I did my sample that, that was lucky, that by having the chick too high, it really looked funny because it shouldn't be like way up here. I don't know if you can see this, I shouldn't even be pointing it out, but you can see that I had to remove my chick and move it down. So lesson learned. Now, if you don't have either of these stamp sets, I would highly recommend getting them. But there are sentiments within the Itty Bitty Greetings. I'm sure there are other ones that you could use. You don't necessarily have to have these stamp sets, but they're just too cute. I don't know how you'd resist them. So for this, I'm just going to stamp it in Smoky Slate. and then cut it into a strip and just banner that end. I may not have room for it this time. We shall see. I'm just gonna use my little mini guillotine trimmer. I hope that if you were thinking of joining Stampin' Up, you did so during celebration. I'm gonna end up cutting off the end of that. Why? Why? So now that celebration is over, there is never a bad time to join Stampin' Up. Oh, let's move that down just a smidge. The starter kit is always the best deal in the catalog. You just won't get all of the extra perks that we had during celebration. But in Canada, you choose $165 worth of product for $135 free shipping. And you join my Crafted AF team. So as always, I use my favorite punch to banner the ends. And see how quick this comes together? Sorry that my lighting isn't quite what I had hoped it would be on this side. I've got another light and it's a little higher up than it normally would be, and it's just not providing that same level of brightness that I have gotten used to. But this thing is so top heavy that anytime I move it, the whole thing falls. So I've moved it now where it's weighted down and it's not as helpful as it used to be. So I don't know if you saw that, but I only put glue on this end and a dimensional on that side. And now I will grab my Gingham Gala adhesive backed sequins. You can use any of the colors in here. I prefer this iridescent one, and you can use the circles, you can use the flowers, you can use whatever you want. And working in the power of 3. There we go. And the only other thing I did was tie a little bit of twine across the top just for a little bit of added interest. I am going to stamp "May Your Easter Be Full of Happiness" on this one. In Welcome Easter, there is "Have a Wonderful Easter," which is the same font, but I would like to use this one since I haven't yet. I'm going to stamp it in both cards actually while I have them both out. So a couple little updates while I'm doing this part. If you do not follow my Stamped AF page, I posted a link to fill out a form to get Happy Mail from me. I did mail out quite a number of cards last week, and I am going to do this going forward. I don't know why I haven't done it before. I would send out the odd card here and there, but now I would like to have it where it's on a regular basis. So if you would like to get some Happy Mail from me, please go head on over to my Facebook page and you can fill out that form. What else do we have? The registration for the April Creativity Without Borders is open until Friday at noon Central Time, and Kelly and I are using the Best Dress suite of products. So if you would like to get your hands on that kit class, you will get the cardstock and supplies to make 8 cards, 2 of each of 4 designs. If you purchase the kit, since we don't have a cardstock option, you would also get you'd get half a pack of the Best Dress Designer Series paper. You get a roll of this mint macaron sheer ribbon. I almost said linen. I think it might be sheer linen ribbon. You get, what else? A package of the tassels. And there's one more thing that I cannot think of off the top of my head, but all of the details are on my blog. You can go and fill out the form. Once you have filled out the form, you will get a PayPal invoice from me, which you pay, and then I will place the order and get all of that out in the mail to you. They make great Mother's Day cards. This suite of products is great for any feminine cards that you could possibly need, whether you use the stamps like the shoe and the perfume and the lipstick, or if you just use the sentiments or just the DSP, they are beautiful. So that is open until Friday. And then Tiffany Almeida and I will have an announcement coming about an upcoming collaboration that we have. So if this is your first time here, you probably don't know that Tiffany and I have a group called Pretty AF. It is a monthly subscription. It's $15 Canadian or US. You get a weekly Facebook Live with at least 4 projects each week. There are prize patrols, there is birthday club, there's so much about this wonderful group. So we are starting another collaboration, and it's going to be so much fun. So stay tuned for that. I think that's all the announcements I had. And that's all for the card today. I have a super fun design planned for my Facebook Live this week. I did it today, and I was going to show you both in this YouTube video, and then I thought, no, I should save something for Facebook Live. So I am. I think you will love it, so I hope you will head on over Wednesday. I don't know what the date is. Wednesday, April 8th at 7:30 Central Time. So head on over to Stamped AF on Facebook and you'll see yet another Easter idea. Before I let you go, I will show you a couple others that I've done. So this is another Facebook Live video, and it's an egg that holds a chocolate. I actually have one here that has a chocolate in it. So they stand. It's kind of hard to do in a video, but you can see I put a banner on that one and nothing on this one. I think I like the banner. And then I also did this little tulip chocolate holder. We don't have Hershey's Nuggets in Canada, so I did just these little PC chocolates. But how cute is this? So I hope that you will head on over, like that page. If you haven't hit the subscribe button below on YouTube, please do so. I am desperately trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can start doing YouTube Live. And if you are in Canada, I currently have a little ladybug giveaway going on. If you share this video with your village, come back, tell me that you've shared it. You will be entered to win the little ladybug stamp set and coordinating dies, which are now no longer available because Celebration's over. So that is all for today, my friends. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.